A warm greeting to you, my dear developers. Today we are going to start with Azure DevOps in a real account. And we are going to sign in to our Azure DevOps account. Well, I already did it. In my case, I created a new account for this session with you. I called it FSD Client Atomic Outlook. Yes, FSD, remember, refers to feature slice design. That is the architecture that we are going to use for all our front-end projects. Clean, of course, because clean architecture. And atomic is another principal design. So that is the name of my account. And I will then send you an invitation from my account, so we are connected and I can monitor progress. Yes? For now, let's focus on the work items, which will capture all the requirements we are going to code. Well, once we enter our Azure DevOps credentials or account and password, remember, we will see this start screen asking what we want to do. So we can create a new organization here. We can create a new project or go to an existing project. Yes. You are going to that is that you are going to do in your projects. Yes. Well, I've already done this project to do. For this account, I create this organization, FSD Clean Atomic. That is the name of my organization. I inside the project called To Do. Yes, To Do. That is our task manager. And guys, this is exactly what you will need to do later for your own robots project. Yes, as I told you. For now, thought only as guests, the tech leads of each group will receive the invitation. Then you just need to go to the to-do project, so we are synchronize it and align it. Yes. Once we click into the project to do, that is you are going to do our task manager. The full toolbar appears. We'll focus on boards only, boards, especially where work items, well, backlogs, product backlog, sprints, queries. Well, the most important for this section is boards and backlogs. Yes, to see all the work items. So we are going to click in backlogs, and for now we'll keep the project simple to emphasize best practices. That's why we will build a task manager. Yes, a simple to do, a simple task manager. Well, what is a backlog? A product backlog. Yes, a backlog is a prioritized list of pending work items. It could be epic, feature, user story, bugs, tags, yes, that are not yet completed, are maintaining to plan and track future work. Yes, in other words, a backlog, my developers, is the accumulated work waiting to be done. Yes, that's it, no more. In Azure DevOps, work items are organized, remember, epic on top. Then we click and we will find feature. We have only one feature. To do, that is the epic, it's called to do, yes? And the feature, we only have task management. And then we click in our feature and we are going to see in this case, in our case, 3 user stories. Remember, age, user, age, history. But we call user story as a convention. And each user story has a number and which indicate an ID, in this case 001, 002, and 003, and then the name of the user story. The first user story called Add a Task. We click and we are going to see all the tasks contained in this first user story. First one, and look at this. I don't know how to say nomenclatura. The nomenclatura T, of course, refers task. Okay, it says task. And 000, all tasks has 001, 001, 001, 001, saying that all these tasks are containing in the user story 001, yes? But then after this dash, we see different numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, yes? That is in Spanish nomenclatura. So, okay, and we are going to start writing code and developing these first tags. Create tags, entity type, ID, title, and done. Yes, that is a type, and we are talking about TypeScript. Yes, but don't worry, you will see it later. But like the idea is to create in this way all the code that we are going to develop in Visual Studio Code. So again, an epic captures a large business objective, yes? That is the to-do application, the whole application. A feature is a capability within the epic, yes? Then we click and we find all the user stories that describe end user value. That is a user story. And a task are, tasks break this story into concrete implementations and steps, yes? They are the smaller elements. Well, this second task is to create a task form feature, yes? It's a component which manages props, and it's the form that is going to receive the data the user write in the input text. Then we find this task is a task list for listing all the tags that the user write and the route of Next.js, yes? But hey developers, how can I manage the progress? Well, look at the boards item in the toolbar, in the menu, and look at this. For example, it's better to see it with user stories. Here the user stories, and for example, I finish these user stories, I drag and drop, move into the new active states. The table has 4 columns. The first one is new, the second column active, the third column resolved, and finally close. And they are the states into a timeline. Yes, in this timeline, we are going to move each, in this case, user story through all these states. When finished, I put in active state and so on. Yes, this is about stories, but we can do it the same with features. Yes, we only have one feature, and Epic too. Yes, but function the same. I can drag and drop and put in a new state. And that's it. That is the way that we can follow the progress. We can manage the programs and ensure that everybody is moving in the same way. Yes. So again, get back to backlogs product. Remember, an epic is the purpose is the business outcome. Yes, and success criteria. I can open it here, and there are many data in the epic: the title, the state, the priority. There are story points. Well, in features, and we also attach, for example, definition of ready and definition of done. Remember, KPIs for indicator, and all that is for measure impact. Yes. Okay. Click down and we find the feature. Remember, capability and acceptance boundary. In the feature, we can find the description. For example, a student, I want to manage task at toggle remove so that I can track my work effectively. Yes, that is a whole description. And look at this, all the data about that, the rigs, default, business value, time critically, start date, classification, the reason, the state, but we won't do that. We are focused on programming and developing and writing code, but from this we are going to validate all the requirements into the work items. Yes, that's only, no more. And then we click down, and remember the user stories. A user story is where it's a level. This captures the end user value. And the same, there are many different data, states, area, the priority, the story points to measure the progress, yes, through points. But that is something different that what we are wanted to do about Azure DevOps. Here is the acceptance criteria. Remember, in the final project, but in a high level, it would be nice to involve all these data. But in a high level, that's not worried. It doesn't matter if only a description, a general description. And finally, click down here and we find the task. Remember, the task is a task break the story into concrete steps. We use remaining work in hours for day-to-day execution. These are the effort in hours. Original estimate, remaining, and completed. Each task aligned to the story's definition of done and acceptance criteria. And yes, that is the quality of the task. And in general words, that's it. And well, how can I do all these work items? Yes, that is the epic. So I come here, select the option menu, new work item. For example, we are going to create a feature, choose that option, and we write a title. For example, feature new. But the idea is to assign it to a parent. Yes, here add link, we choose an existing item. Who is the parent of a feature? The epic. Yes, so work items to link, we are going to display this select element and we are going to choose the epic. That's the epic one to do. And then add link, click on the button add link, and finally save and close. And look at this. We have now two features, but this feature doesn't have any child element. So the idea is to come here again and select the new work item option of the menu, and then we are going to choose a user story. For example, user story 221. Well, in Spanish the nomenclatura is different from many perspectives and points of view. Yes, sometimes it's depending of the feature, sometimes it's depending of the business, sometimes it's depending of many different perspectives. Well, that is an example fast, but the idea or what I want you to learn is to here you are going to choose an existing items and who is the parent of a user story. Okay, the feature and the new feature, this one. Then on button I clicked add link button, and finally save and close. So my feature has one child, one user story child. And again, we are going to assign some tags to this user story parent. So come here, select new work item again, and finally select a tags menu item. T221 and 1, and finally choose existing item, and who is the parent of these tags? Our user story this, and finally click on add link button, and save and close. And this user story has a new child task. Yes? And that is the way, that is all the planification that you are going to do with your own project, your robots project. Yeah? But that is going to be later. For now, just as a guest, you will register in this interface, so read all these work items. And that's it, my developers. Thank you so much for your attention, and from the bottom of my heart, God bless you.